Good morning. Hello from Texas. We're in Rhode Island. Hello. Thank you so much for the like. Good morning. I'm just going to let people come in. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to allow people to come in. I'm going to do my little thing I do. The energy feels so weird this morning. Feels really weird this morning, but I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna push through. Not really sure why it feels like this. Oh, thank you. Yes, please share. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Raymond. Yes, please. Thank you for being here. Please share and like the lives if you like what we do here and you want to share with other people what we do. We'd love to do that. We'd love for you to do that. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There's something in this energy that's it's kind of funky. Let me clear it. Good morning. Good morning. Allow me to tune your human biofield. Thank you guys so much for being here. Jeez, Raymond. Thank you. I think all 800 likes are going to be from you. And I'm okay with that. Just kidding. Good morning, everybody. We're going to do a random collective read. I usually do a celebrity and a true crime, but this weekend it felt a little different. So there just may be something that my energy, spirit has my energy attract certain messages, and maybe I'm someone who has to give it. I don't know. I don't know. Regina, will I get off child support? I'm sorry, I don't do those. I'm not that kind of psychic. I'm sorry. My name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on all major platforms. If you would like to follow any of our socials or hey Jason, it is Powerball is $875 million. Yes, it is. It is. Um, Thank you for being here. I'm happy to be here every weekend. We post for you every weekend. We go live every Saturday and Sunday. I got these little fuzzies in my hair. Um, hey Shrima, thanks for being here. We go live every Saturday and Sunday. We do a celebrity read and a true crime read, or we'll do a random collective read. We use this platform to learn how to read energy with my spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle. I'm newer to reading energy, so we do it with you guys so you can see how we do it. Not for you to do it like us, but for you to see that it's being done and that it's possible. Everybody's psychic, you guys. Everybody's psychic. Everybody, that's just a word that we've labeled the information, the non physical information that we pick up on through our non physical energy. And we're first and foremost a soul having a human experience. We're electromagnetic, and that is the conduit in which we use to pick up on non physical information, which is all around us. It's all around us on different dimensions, on different levels, in different states, in different forms. It's all there, just like the Wi-Fi, just like the Wi-Fi picks up on your IP address and all of that. So we're here to show you that it's true that you can absolutely 100% speak telepathically to each other, that you can connect from a heart space, and we can have compassion for each other. So that's our goal with this channel. But if you want more podcast style metaphysical knowledge and wisdom that's segmented in episodes, you can go to Spirit News. And Spirit News is on all major platforms. You can find it through the link tree in the bios on TikTok and YouTube. And you can find all of our episodes there. We have 19 episodes and then some bonus episodes so far. And the last episode was episode 19, Return of the Divine Feminine. If you find yourself needing more information about what embodying divine feminine energy is and what it looks like and how it can unfold, you can listen to that episode. It's very educational for the time we're in. Okay. Ooh, I feel a little better. There was a heavy energy that was sitting on my chest. It was just sitting there, but I feel better now. So I'm just going to open the necrometer so you guys can hear spirit. We don't recommend you do divination if you're not in a heart space. If you still have things you're overcoming or healing, we don't recommend you do Ouija boards or any type of ghost hunting, any type of seances. We don't recommend you do that. When you're in a heart space, you don't need to do those things. But if you're not in a heart space and you do those things, you can attract unwanted visitors, unwanted negative energy. Your face is hella long. Thank you. I got an oblong. I'm an oblong. Or like, I'm like a square vole. I'm a Capricorn myself, so Capricorn is the best sign. I'm a Capricorn, but honestly, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I don't resonate with the standard description of a Capricorn. I guess in some ways I do, but other ways I don't. I use astrology very loosely. I don't take it so very like serious. I use it very like objectively, very observationally. You know, Leo, raise a Leo, the lion, right? Wow, how are you reading over comments or are you just ignoring? Oh, I'm sorry. What did I ignore? How do you feel about why he introduces himself to me as Yeshua? So I call him Yeshua. I love Yeshua. We're homies. We did some energy work like a week ago with Mary Magdalene. Oh my God, it was so beautiful that I cried like a baby because it was just so much love. It was so unconditionally loving. We did some energy work in the ethers. I was exercising. I've been interested in space base lately when I exercise. It's called space base. I really like it. You should check it out. But I actually have a song today that it was in my head when I woke up that is space base. It's called Get Gone by Maddie O'Neill and Homemade Spaceship. And Lily Fangs. She says, I've tried to get some space before. I can't read it. I can't read it with the song on. My brain just malfunctioned. I've tried to get some space before. I've tried to get away. I've tried to catch a wave for sure. I've tried to get away. It's been a long path, million different levels. When I get lost, find the bass and the treble. Beat calls me back again and again. Tried to delete, but I just hit send. Just did ban, and I'm barreling back. Return to the sound with my soul intact. Game got my heart, and that's a fact. So that was the song I woke up with in my head. So we'll see what that's about. Something about someone can't get away from something. There's something that they keep doing, trying to get a different ending or trying to change something. She also says, try to delete, but I just hit send. So possibly some kind of maybe going back to an ex, or it could be doing bad habits or, something like that. Something that they keep doing. It's been a long path, million different levels. When I get lost, find the bass and the treble. It could be somebody who likes to go to festivals or someone who's really into like bass or something. It could be somebody who perhaps does like hallucinogens, or they could do something with magic, like elemental magic. But we'll see. We'll see. You date black guys? Well, I have dated black guys, but I'm married now. I admit to being very ignorant about spiritual energy, but I enjoy learning more. Absolutely, yeah. Every artist was first an amateur. You don't know until you know. You know? Well, you are the most beautiful trans woman I've ever seen. Well, thank you. Stroking my nine. Add me on Discord. Oh my gosh. You look appealing. What are you mixed with, though? I'm Japanese and Italian. But can't you answer the question? I understand if you don't. I did answer the question, I thought. I am absolutely all about Yeshua. I love Yeshua. We're homies. Okay, so let's start this reading. Thank you so much for all the love and support. I truly appreciate it. We've been getting such positive feedback, and we're really grateful for you guys showing up with us every weekend. We really appreciate you. And I'm so happy to be here for you every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday morning. Okay? So let's begin. Who needs help? Who is this? How can we help? How can we help? How can we help? Let me see. Someone's nervous. Someone's nervous about possibly their health. Someone's worried about their health, possibly. There could be something that they keep doing that's affecting their blood or their health or their pineal gland or something. Their nervous system. Now that my the first card I have, I just cannot. Now that my brown eye stopped burning, let me tell you something about love. I can't make it up. It's so funny. These are the nonsense phrases game. I told you something about someone's health. Something about their insides possibly having like an upset stomach, or something they keep doing is like affecting their health. But they're trying to ignore it, or they're trying to not let anyone know. Something like that. Now that my brown eye stopped burning, let me tell you something about love. Swear's got jokes. You look like the Jewish Mexican president, Claudia Scheinbaum. I diddy myself to the thought of you. That is wild, the things that people say, honestly. The fuck are these comments? Yeah. Yeah, we got some crazy ass comments. What's up? Be nice. I know, Father Dreadful, I know in the YouTube chat there's some questionable comments. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. It really helps us out so people find us. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here with us. We're happy to be here, even for those weird ass comments. Nitro Buff, you asked me that again, I'm gonna get you out of here. I don't care about that, okay? I'm sorry, I just don't care about that. Oh my god. Wow. People, I mean, how do you wake up at 6 in the morning and say things like this? I don't know. I do not know. Spirit said Adam. Okay. I've calculated that boyfriend material is comprised of 30% confidence, 20% attractiveness, 40% financial stability, and 10% intelligence. Therefore, I am 100% fucked. So, somebody who miscalculated someone who they thought was going to be their boyfriend or someone who they thought was going to be with them, they thought that this person, for something, they thought that this person was their person, or that they were going to get somebody, or they thought it doesn't have to be about a boyfriend. It could be because there's also material. So it could have been them trying to make people perceive them in this way, but they're fucked now because nobody is looking at them this way or something. They might, it says 10% intelligence, so 10 out of 100 is not a lot. So they did something that was not intelligent for financial stability. They may have used their attractiveness to make it seem like they're confident, but to find a man or something, or to be friend or boyfriend material, that's something like that. Tell me more. Who's that interrupting? Do you like Gabe Horn? I don't know who that is. It's not that small, especially if you compare it to a smaller penis. Hmm. There's someone here who's going through some health problems because they're very insecure about the size of their penis. And so they look for people that have to fit a certain criteria in order for them to be with them, except they don't fit that criteria, so they're 100% fucked. And they could be burning right now because they're very promiscuous, and they think that they know everything about love. Spirit said Amy and Adam. They look for people who have certain traits and then possibly, not treat them right because they're not very intelligent. What is this energy? Let's continue. Now we are straying away from the relatable. There we go. Father dreadful. Yeah, I'm pissed. You were laughing during our wedding vows like Fallon in an SNL skit. Hmm. The cop threw me in the back of his cruiser after I asked him what it's like to suck Big Poppy's dick. Hmm. Let me get one more and then I'll see what I'm getting here. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 follows on this card. There's someone in your energy with a small penis that could be burning. They're mad at you because you rejected them or made fun of them, or they think that you laugh at them or something. Something about possibly like something about their identity. They could possibly be struggling with their identity. That's why they're so that's why they require such a, high expectation of whoever, they set their sights on. There could be something about them actually, being gay and not being able to, like, deal with that. Not, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but this person has some kind of like identity crisis going on. Follow the yellow brick road. So that's Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz. Something about him being a wizard. Oh, maybe that's what the song's about. I try to catch a wave for sure. I try to get some space before. I try to get away, but it keeps calling me back. The Wizard of Oz. Oh, thank you, Kronos. I don't know, buy a drink or something with this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I almost missed it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Erica. Thank you. I appreciate you. Better run fast from those cowardly lions. I got voted smallest on my college BB team. I did grow. What is the tattoo on your wrist? Oh, it's Shasat. It's the female counterpart to Toth. Toth's my homie. Spirit, what is this? There's something about this person being mad at you because you may have called them out about their identity issues and they have a small penis. So, and they have identity issues. So they're mad at you for making fun of them or for saying something. They have some kind of health issues going on, possibly because Wizard of Oz, they were some kind of fake wizard. That got a lot of people to believe that they can do certain things. Possibly one, two, three, four, five, up to five people. They have high expectations for whatever the opposite gender is. Like if you're a male, then a woman, they have to, the women they find have to meet a certain criteria. 30% confidence, 20% attractiveness, 40% I am one, but therefore I'm 100% fucked because that's impossible. You can't. They do that because they're actually, you know they actually like the same sex, but there's something about them that can't, I don't know, admit that. And so they've been doing something illegal, possibly through magic or with magic, or something about being a wizard. It doesn't have to be magic because the wizard was not a magician. He just pretended to be one. And so he was a manipulator, a master manipulator is what he was. So it doesn't have to be like an actual wizard, but something about like a salesman selling, snake venom or something, someone who got a lot of people to drink the poison to believe that he's some kind of exalted wizard or something. They've been doing something illegal. The cop threw me in the back of his cruiser after I asked him what it's like to suck Big Poppy's DICK. So something about this person is very volatile right now. Possibly could be going to prison, or possibly discovered that they were gay in prison, something like that. Hello. Hello, me by the sea. Oh my gosh. I am snuggled and warm. Oh, good. I love being snuggled and warm. So I don't know what this energy is. This is like, maybe that's why I felt so weird. This person could possibly like to go to festivals. They could be doing, it says, when I get lost, find the bass in the treble. B calls me back again and again. Tried to delete, but I just hit send. Just dip bend and I'm barreling back. Return to the sound with my soul intact. Game got my heart, and that's a fact. So something that they do over and over again to try to get away from something. It could be drugs. It could be drugs. Let's do an imagine if. I'm going to roll the dice. 6. 6. Hello, Effie. Mysterium Numinous. I like that name. Dang, this sounds like attorneys and lawyers making promises. C.S. Lewis wrote that demons never keep their promises, and the Holy Bible tells us not to put our trust in man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Spirit just said altar as well. So you could be onto something, Mysterium. Where are you reading these from? Oh, I drew cards from my game Utter Nonsense. There are the utter nonsense cards. I drew 6 of them. I'm going to do Imagine If now. I rolled the die. I'm doing the Imagine If cards. I rolled a 6. Imagine if blank were an award, what would he or she be? An MVP. Most valuable player. A player? Some kind of player? I told you, someone that has very high expectations for the opposite sex if they choose, but really they're gay, and that's why they have such high expectations, because it's like a subconscious thing where they're like, well, if they don't meet these expectations, I don't have to be with them, but then I can, it can make it seem like I have really high standards, something like that, but really it's because they are having some kind of identity crisis. Imagine if blank were a body part, which would he or she be? Brain. Someone who's all in their mental and their mind. They overthink. They're not connected to their heart space. They could possibly be a mastermind of something or a leader of something, the brains of some kind of operation. Sounds like a good motto for the DOJ, utter nonsense. Yeah, definitely. All right, let me roll again. 5. Imagine if blank were a stage act. Which would he or she be? A snake charmer. Didn't I just tell you snake venom? This is someone who lays on the charm. 17. This is someone who can talk you. What is that saying? Talk a woman in a white dress to eat a ketchup popsicle or something. Something like that. Is this for real? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm genuinely curious. Yeah, this is the energy. There's someone in your energy or in somebody's energy that Spirit wants us to read about. There's something that they're doing. I don't know yet because I just started, but they definitely snake charmed some people to do something, or they're addicted to doing something that's illegal, something that's not beneficial for anybody. Christina, does Steve, my previous therapist, think of me romantically? I'm sorry, I'm not that kind of psychic, honey. I'm sorry, Christina. Blank, imagine if, but what I will say to that is that if it's meant to be, it'll happen easy and organically, and you don't have to do anything. If whatever's meant for you will find you. You don't have to force it. Imagine if blank had to grant government approval for a major city project. Which would he or she choose? Sports stadium. Someone who's really into sports. Someone who's really into sports, and I have MVP over here. Someone who watches a lot of sports, or maybe someone who was playing a game. Someone who thought that they were playing a game, that they were the brains of some kind of game operation that they were playing. This person could possibly have a gambling addiction. They said Adam and Amy so far. Adam, Amy, Tyler, Jonathan, in a car. Maggie, Astrid. 2. Imagine if blank were an entree. I almost said entire. Or an entree. Which would he or she be? Duck à l'orange. Duck à la orange. Orange. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Number 2. Duck à l'orange. A sitting duck. They're a sitting duck for something that they did when they were emotional. When they were in an emotion, they may have took some action that's might get them arrested. Imagine if blank were a 1960s movie, which would he or she be? Barbarella. Barbarella. I remember when I was a kid and that movie came on, I thought I was watching something like so naughty because it was like so like sexualized. Barbarella. But I don't remember what it's about. I know it's like in space, which is so funny because the song says, I've tried to get some space before. I've tried to get some space before. And I see a space odyssey right here. Psycho and Dr. Zhivago. Let me look up Barbarella. Barbarella?
Sacrificed to dark forces.
Oh, Spirit just said sacrifice to dark forces. Whoops. Barbarella? A president of Earth sends space adventurer Barbarella on a mission to retrieve a scientist. She crash lands on a planet and explores its strange customs after a man rescues her from captivity. October 10th could be significant. The names Roger, Jack, and Paco could be significant. The president of Earth sends Barbarella on a mission to retrieve a scientist. She crash lands on a planet and explores its strange customs after a man rescues her from captivity. What? It says the president of Earth. This is for entertainment purposes only. I cannot prove any of this in a court of law. It is just for entertainment. I'm just reading the energy. But it does say president of Earth. That's wild. Okay. What else? Thank you all for the follows and the likes. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Thank you so much for being here. Were you on a TV show in the early 2000s?
Into eternity.
Spirit said, sacrifice to dark forces and into eternity. Tell me about, now it doesn't have to be literal about the president of Earth. It could be somebody who's maybe has a business or is the brains of an operation or is like the leader of a group. You know, someone who holds that position metaphorically.
1950s.
So it doesn't have to be the president of Earth, okay? I just want to say that. I'm not trying to I don't support either party. I think either party is divisive. I think that outside of Earth, politics don't matter. And I think that we need to change our political structure. And I think a lot of things that are wrong with the world today is because our politics. And so I support love, compromise, compassion, and empathy. That's what I support, and forgiveness. I don't support violence or divisiveness. I don't think that we should be put into two categories and then made to choose one. I think that's ridiculous. We're so multi-dimensional. Why should we be put in a box, you know, it's not black or white. Everybody's could be everything all at once, and so I think it's really limiting. Were you reading the plot to Barbarella? I was, because I got, imagine if you this person were a 1960s movie, which would he or she be? And it was Barbarella. And then I didn't remember what Barbarella was about, so I looked it up. The names Jane, John, I did say Jonathan earlier. David, Anita could be significant. All right. So they could have crashed after trying to explore some kind of strange custom. Perhaps it's associated with you or with this
Yes.
thing. Yes, Spirit said yes. This thing that they do over and over again. I don't know what it is, but it's something that's like unusual. And I'm getting a lot of space references, so it could be like astral projection or meditation or some kind of transcendental state or something like that, something that puts them into space. It could be getting high as well. They could get high and accidentally like jump out of their body. That's definitely possible. Just wanted to spread the gospel. Believe in the Lord God Jesus Christ and you will be saved. All right. So tell me what this space is. What they try to explore some kind of strange custom that they're not used to retrieve something. They were trying to retrieve something. Spirit said yes. Coffee break, high water mark. Coffee break. I'm doing my win loser draw cards. Feather your nest. A tough nut to crack. High water mark. What does high water mark mean? Let me see. High water mark signifies the peak value an investment fund has reached. High water mark signifies the peak value an investment fund has reached, ensuring managers only earn performance fees on new profits above this level, protecting investors from paying fees on the same gains repeatedly after a turndown. The term also metaphorically means the highest point or peak of achievement for anything, like a career or event. In flood management, it's the highest level water reached on land. The term metaphorically means the highest point or peak of achievement for anything. This person's trying to ruffle your feathers so you take some kind of break. They were trying to break you or crack you, but you're a tough nut to crack. They're trying to ruffle your feathers to feather their nest. But they've reached some kind of peak. They didn't gain after a turn down. Spirit said home. And this says investment, so possibly something about some kind of home investment. They probably think saying goddamn makes them look cool or sound cool. They can't damn heaven though, and they can't buy their way to heaven. Hey Scovy, thanks for being here. Good morning, everybody. Oh, thank you so much for following. We appreciate you, Joshua. Stealing the show, putting on the dog. What's putting on the dog? Let me see. I've heard putting on the Ritz. Putting on the dog. To make a showy, flashy display of wealth, fashion, or importance. Oh my gosh, I had a dream about this. I had a dream about this man. And he was upset. He was at the casino and he kept calling somebody, asking them for more money. And every time he called, it was like, okay, I need 100 more. I need 100 more. And I saw that he was with friends at a casino and he kept needing more money because he kept losing, but he didn't want to seem like a loser. He's like a show off. Oh my God, that's so funny. I didn't even think that that would be anything. To make a showy, flashy display of wealth, fashion, or importance. Yeah, this person has an identity issue because they can't admit that they're gay. They have to pretend that the women that they date are like supermodels, that they're like the hottest of the hot, and that, but actually in reality, they like men or whatever, whoever this is. They have a gambling problem. They always have to be putting on the dog and showing off and seeming like the biggest, you know, tough guy or seeming like the smartest person in the room, but really they're not that smart. They always have to be ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. They always have to be doing something about partying. They're always like doing drugs and stuff and gambling. They always have to look like the most valuable person in the room. But they're always in competition. There's something about some kind of competition. They're upset with you for stealing the show. Something that you said trumps what they've been saying or what they've been pretending to be, and now they're down on their luck until the cows come home. Until the cows come home. Let me look that one up. There's a lot of sayings. I don't know what they are. Until the cows come home. A very long time, indefinitely, forever. They're going to be unlucky for the rest of their lives because of something they tried to steal from you. They tried to take your nest. They tried to steal your home or a home from you. Oops. Buzz off, chew the fat. And this flipped out. Turning over in the grave. Put your money where your mouth is. Chew the fat. What does chew the fat mean? Let me see. Chew the fat. To have a long, casual, friendly chat or gossip without much serious content. People are starting to walk away from this person because what they did would make you turn over in your grave. And people are like, I don't believe you anymore. Put your money where your mouth is because you chew the fat. You have conversations that are gossipy that aren't true. This person's been making something up because they're trying to hide something that they took from you. They possibly try to steal a home from you or have some kind of access to a home or try something like that. I'm going to get 2 more of these, and I love you too. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to draw 2 more of these, and the blind leading the blind from pillar to post. Damn it. I don't know what that means either. From pillar to post.
14.
From pillar to post. To be moved repeatedly from one place, person, or situation to another, often chaotically without resolution, progress, or stability. I told you, people are walking away from them, so they may not have a place to go. They might be sleeping on people's couches or something because they tried to steal a home from you. Or they tried to lead people against you, but it was the blind leading the blind. And now they're being repeatedly moved from one place to another, chaotically trying to find a resolution, but they can't. They're in a pickle. Cut the mustard. What is cut the mustard? Cut the mustard. Come up to expectations. Reach the required standard. To meet a required standard, succeed, or be adequate for a task. Often used in the negative, can't cut the mustard, to say to someone or something that isn't good enough to be up to par with. Origins likely from military muster. This person could have been in the military. They were doing something over and over again that would make you turn in their grave because they're like the blind leading the blind and they wanted to steal the show. So they were putting on the dog to make it seem like they were of high value, like
pitch,
something that they were doing many people should invest in, but they're a snake charmer. Whatever they were selling was a gamble because they were trying to steal some or break you for some kind of investment opportunity. But it didn't work. And so now they're addicted to trying something against you over and over again. But they need to know that they're down on their luck until the cows come home. They're never, whatever they're doing, they're never going to get this investment. This investment is null and void. I have 212, 222, 99, 144, 226, 123. Okay. Hi from Arizona. I used to live in Arizona. I went to Ironwood High School and Westwind Academy High School in Arizona. Good to see ya. Tell me what else? What else? Tell me about this house or this investment. What is this about? Some kind of test. Some kind of test that God put them under. It's a secret, something you don't know about. 10, some kind of secret. Something that they tried to hide from you. Something they did behind your back, behind a closed door.
when the crows gather,
When the crows gather. Something unknown, something you don't know about. They don't want you to know about it. Honor in reverse. Yeah, something dishonorable. Something that they didn't treat you with respect. They didn't honor your relationship, whoever this is. They didn't honor you, or they chose to keep, spirited word. They chose to keep this from you. Something about some kind of secret. Power, boss, leadership, finances, yeah. And I have another 10. That's 1010. They tried to take over some kind of finances. Something about investment. They were putting on the dog about some kind of investment opportunity. They told people some kind of gossip or rumor about you to protect this asset that they were trying to secretly steal from you. Tell me more about this asset. Make it up as they go along. Hi, I'm from Australia. I'm an Aquarius. I'm very good. Thank you so much. Fox, selfishness, trickery, wrongness. Yeah, caution. They need to use caution now because whatever this secret is, it's coming out. They were dishonorable. It was a test. They were confronted, or they got this is an opportunist. They came up with an opportunity of an investment that be tied to you. It could be a house or something like that, something that's of high value. They may have stolen it from you or tried to steal it from you because they're selfish, because they thought they were so clever that you would never suspect. They thought that you would never find out about it. A time to say goodbye. Something is about to end for now. Yeah, there's something that they keep doing over and over again, but they're going to be down on their luck until the cows come home. It,
Enclosed space.
it's like no matter what they do, it's not going to fix or change what's already been done. Two kittens, you must choose. Two kittens, you must choose. Yeah, they have two options. Either they keep on doing this and they deal with the consequences of what they've done, or there's another choice, or they, you know, time to say goodbye. Something's about to end. Those are the two choices they have. They don't know if they can deal with one of them. One of the choices they made could lead to a very bad life because it's going to match the energy that they're in. Dog. Because they were putting on the dog. They thought that they had support. They thought that they had obedience from a group of people, but people are walking away from them because they see that they're not really what they say they are. They're not a big deal. They don't have money. Gambling. Didn't I tell you this person has gambling problems? Gambling. They took a gamble and they gamble any money they have. They're always gambling it. They thought that this was a lucky opportunity for them. So they took this action without even a thought of you. They didn't even think of you. They're an opportunist. This opportunity arose and it has something to do with you, and the first thought they thought of was, it's mine. And so they took some kind of action to try to steal it or try to create some kind of energy to expedite this process for this investment. But now they're confused and they're worried because they're not going to get it. They could be worried about you receiving some kind of message about, you could be receiving soon some kind of like, some kind of message from an ally that wants to support you. They may have thought that they should support this person, but now they see this person's not trustworthy. And so that makes them look at you like, well, if they did that to you, then there's something, there's something in that. If this person went so far to make you, to steal from you, to make you look a certain way, something about gossip, then what's that say about them? And what's that say about you? Spirit said grandfather. So now they're looking at you like they want to, or whoever this ally was to them is walking away from this person. And now they're looking at you like they want to be your ally. So this person's scared because they know that this person is going to come in with a message at some point. They possibly are going to tell you some kind of news, something about some activity that they did that was dishonorable, some gamble they took. Yeah, because they don't want it to be a burden, because whatever they did was wrong, and this person is like, I don't want to be a part of that. You told me it was something else, and now it's creating burdens for me, like the people that they could have involved in going against you or like being an ally with them under false pretenses are having some kind of burdens because of this, and they could possibly be putting some kind of puzzle pieces together. Two kittens, you must choose, that the person they chose was the wrong person, and so they want to come towards you because they think that coming towards you will fix their burdens because of something that they did to you. Okay. Hey, Manuel. Hi, can you talk to dead people? Yes, I can talk to crossed over loved ones. Nothing, no such thing as death. Little Alan, wisdom as light as a feather. Yeah, they want to come forward and tell you something about some kind of wisdom. They want to tell you what's been happening. And they want to ask you questions. They want you to tell them Why hasn't anything worked? They want to know from your mouth, why hasn't anything worked? Sacred beetle armor. It's because you have a mighty shield, because you're protected in some way. Even if you feel lost, there's always a
Revelation.
way through the maze. Record it. Yeah, there's something about how you always find your way out of sticky situations because this person is addicted to doing something to you to try to get something to change in their favor. They're constantly thinking of different avenues, different ways. That's all they do
Where
all
is
day.
this?
But it's because they're guilty. It's because they're guilty, and every time they take a turn, they're like, "Where is this?" You know, their guilt is clouding the right move they should make. You know, Spirit's trying to tell them like, this person's protected. It doesn't matter what you do. We're not going to let you do this to them. So, no matter what you do, it's not going to go in your favor. Welcome to Super Spirit Newsies. Oh, thank you for being a member, Bethany. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Yeah, you have ancestors that watch over you. You have ancestors that watch over you because this person has become obsessed with trying to make this investment opportunity work for them, but it wasn't meant for them. Whoever this ancestor is, it could be a grandfather that's looking out for you, that's trying
50.
that's Spirit said 50, so 50-50. It's your guides and a grandfather. They're watching over you because they see what this person's doing, and they know that this person keeps trying to make something fit for them that's not meant for them. This grandfather could have possibly left you a house or something like that. So what's going on with this person now? This person is in some kind of weird, repetitive, addictive behavior cycle because they can't accept the guilt they feel for going against you for some investment opportunity. So in their mind, subconsciously, they feel like if they can make it work for them, then they won't have to feel as bad. But they're also like losing something. So they lacked empathy when they decided to do this to you. This was God's test for them, and they failed it. They were faced or introduced with some kind of investment opportunity that they were supposed to give to you, that they were supposed to tell you about. And they decided to not tell you. They decided to do everything but tell you to make it their own. They're trying to make it their own. Make sure you're hitting that like button, you guys, so people can find us. It really helps us out. We really appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. So, what's happening with them now? They possibly aren't very spiritual because I don't think they understand why nothing happens to you. They could have done many things to try to get you to ruffle your feathers, to break you, but you don't break. You don't break, you bend. You're a shiny gem. Something like that. A devoted family man. Someone who may come across as some devoted family man
While you were gone.
while you were gone. Or they were targeting someone associated with you who's a devoted family man, or your grandfather was a devoted family man, a jealous bridesmaid. A jealous bridesmaid. Someone who could have been your best friend or worked with your best friend. Oh my gosh, a North Korean scientist. And I had that Barbarella. It says a mission to retrieve a scientist. A North Korean scientist. Someone who is experimenting with things that they don't understand. Because I also had been a long path, million different levels when I get lost. Find the bass and the treble. And what was that other thing? receives a very important phone call. I told you they're scared because they're slowly turning into a centaur, into a monster, because they're scared, they're terrified of you receiving an important phone call. And people are from people who are walking away from them, who want to come to you and tell you what this jealous person did to you and your family, possibly to someone who's devoted to you. They've been doing this to you at nighttime, something they do at nighttime, something that they charmed people into doing. And Spirit said altar not that long ago. After prolonged exposure to radiation, on the run from federal agents, after misreading an email. There's some kind of, they could be being watched by federal agents because of this investment opportunity they tried to take from you. They could have possibly have some kind of like e-trail with messages or emails or something that can be tracked that has some kind of conversation about what they were doing, some kind of experiments they were doing to try to take something from you. What's an important phone call, Spirit? They're scared of you receiving a phone call from either, it could be like a lawyer or a doctor or someone important.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Spirit says. Yeah, it could be a lawyer. They could, or it could be a federal agent that's been investigating this person. They could be contacting you soon to question you about your perspective of it. But the thing is that you don't, this is being done in secret. You don't even know that any of this is happening. They could have been directing misleading emails to you or like spam emails or something like that. Dude, you're 31. Please start acting like it. Someone who's been very immature, someone who's been trying to, someone who's been who's been exposed to prolonged radiation, some that's been exposing themselves to toxic behaviors or toxic actions. I need an important phone call. Wow, Divine woke me up at 4 a.m. for this exact reason. Do tell. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, people are starting to look at this person like, what is wrong with you? Why did you do this? You said that they were this and that. They misled people about you because they didn't want people to look at you like you really are. And so now people have to choose because they're starting to realize that being with that they chose the wrong person, that they believe the wrong person, and there could actually be like consequences happening to them. I saw losing fired from a job just a second ago. They could be being fired. They're starting to realize like you're not who they said you were. And so that now they're starting to question this person like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that to somebody? It's because they're very immature. They have a lot of addictions. They have a lot of toxic behaviors that they don't want to admit to themselves. Give me my prosthetic leg back. How about that? I haven't left my house in a week. Yeah, this is somebody that would steal somebody's prosthetic leg and never give it back. Is this somebody that has some kind of weird, distorted moral compass? You know, they don't really have a moral compass. They don't really think about others in that way. So people are walking away from them or starting to realize that this person's a monster, that they're jealous, that they're a snake charmer. Oh, I'm flattered, but to me you're kind of like a substitute
Wait and see.
teacher. I have a lot of fun when you're around, but I don't respect you whatsoever. Yeah, they what was that saying? Putting on the dog. They like to show off and they may have presented themselves as some kind of teacher, but really they're a substitute teacher. They're just somebody that people go around because they have a lot of addictions, you know. They go around them to party, but nobody respects them because this person doesn't even respect themselves. They could possibly be very promiscuous. They could be having some kind of health concerns that they're trying to hide because they are promiscuous and they do a lot of toxic, like drugs and stuff. Shrugs. What's the point of a restraining order if you're still gonna text me? Mom, someone is in the house. Please call 911. I'm hiding under the bed.
While we were gone,
What's the point of a restraining order if you're still gonna text me? They could have pointed a finger at you and said that you were some kind of danger, that you needed to have to be restrained, that you needed some kind of restraining order on you because you're somebody who's dangerous and or something like that. That they need to call 911 because you're like a crazy person, something like that. That could have been one of the things they told people, that you're like highly irritable and that you're a danger to society and you're like a loose cannon, that they need to put a restraining order on you because something's wrong with you. Take me off your list of people to drunk text at 2 a.m. I've been married for 3 years. They could have been saying that you were texting your ex, drunk texting your ex. It could have said that you drink a lot, that you do substances and you hook up with your ex. They told a lot of people that you're some kind of danger, that you are, because I have out over here misread emails and a devoted family man. So they could have told someone that you're devoted to, that you could drink a lot, that you stay up till 2 a.m. and you cheat on them with your ex or something. They made a lot of claims about you because they needed people to look at you that way, so they would walk away from you. So they wouldn't have support, so you wouldn't have support because they were trying to steal something from you. I have another mom reference. Mom saying that people who do chores have big dick energy isn't going to make me want to do the dishes. They could have told your person's mom that you're a danger, that you're lazy, that you don't clean the house, something like that. There's lots of things that this person, they became addicted to, like saying anything to get people to mislead people from you because they needed you to look a certain way so you wouldn't have support.
I repeat,
They needed to isolate you so you wouldn't have support because because they're trying to steal a house from you. And so however that is, I don't know how it is yet. I'll see if I can get it. They needed you to appear a certain way. Saw your nipples in the frozen food section at Walmart. Didn't want to say anything because I thought it'd be awkward. They could possibly have tried to send you like fake profiles of people trying to like come on to you, trying to get you to like prove that that you would cheat or something, trying to get dirt on you, but it doesn't work. Hi, Brian. I know we haven't talked in 9 months, but do you have any plans for Father's Day this year? Someone named Brian. Um, this person could possibly, the message could be from them. They could be trying to find a way to call you or contact you because they want to, there's something about them that wants to see if you're scared, if you're alone, if you're with somebody. They're trying to find out information about you.
Sunlight.
Sunlight, thank you, Spirit. They're trying to figure out what you're doing because they haven't talked to you in a long time and they're doing something to you, but they don't know how it's affecting you, which is weird. Let me get one more. Let me get one more. Let me get one more. Oh, sorry, I'm texting back so late. I didn't hear my phone buzz. I was scream crying into my pillow and it was really loud. Yeah, because something's happening to them. They're like angry. It's
Susan.
it's like every Spirit said Susan. It's like everything they try to do doesn't work. And so we could be reading their thoughts right now because they keep on trying to come up with ideas to isolate you, to get you to talk to them, to see where you're at, to get people to look at you in a certain way. But people aren't, there's like something shifted in this energy where nothing they do is working. And so they're scream crying into their pillow because all they used all these tactics. They went through to great lengths to try to make you seem a certain way, but nobody sees you that way. You're not who they're trying to say you are.
I
And
have arrived.
I have arrived, thank you, Spirit. And they are upset because they used to be a snake charmer. They used to be a real smooth talker, but nobody believes them now.
At the stroke of 6.
So either they're trying to call you or someone who is associated with them
Nice to see you.
is going to call you. Take me out to the ball game. Yeah, I told you because this person has some kind of identity problem, some kind of childhood wound that they're not looking at from when they were a child, possibly some kind of father wound. There's something that they're having a hard time overcoming or looking at, and something about you is making this wound more prominent. And so the more they do things to you to try to ruffle your feathers or isolate you, the more that Spirit is showing this person what the real problem is and what's really holding them back, or what's really been holding them back their whole life.
Disrupt.
Disrupt. So it's disrupting their plans because they're not trying to look at that wound. They're not trying to look at whatever father wound this is that has gotten them to the place that they're in now, to make them cross people's boundaries and not be thinking of and being very selfish. Okay, so there's some kind of ego death happening here. When they have bad intentions, their gifts backfire on them. Yeah, absolutely.
On the phone.
Spirit said on the phone. I told you, expect a phone call because someone's really scared right now. It could be a mother, could be a mother and a father. They're scared because they could be um, under some kind of substances and being very paranoid. They think people are after them. They could possibly be being haunted. Your ancestors could possibly be haunting them because of something they did to your children, something that they may have done to your children that's crossed the line, crossed the boundary. Because you have some kind of perfect family life that they were trying to disrupt because you have a loyal, devoted person in your life that they knew would support you. And they're green with envy about that. Some or one of these people is green with envy about that. One of them could this mom, because I have mom 3 times, a mom and a grandfather or father figure. The mom's upset because you have a perfect family life. And it said bridesmaid, jealous bridesmaid. So they could be jealous that you're married. They might not be married and you are, your mother. They did something to your children that you don't know about, that your ancestors do know about, and they're kicking their butt for that because they thought that they were above the rules. They thought that they could get away with something because nobody was looking. But really, that's not true because Spirit was looking. Spirit is the giraffe. Spirit sees a higher perspective of everything. There's nothing you can do that Spirit doesn't see. And so they thought that it would be a secret, but now their balloons are popping because they thought that they could get away with something that they've been doing to your children. And they got a monkey on their back now because of what they did. They got 3 monkeys on their back. So something they do over and over again, expecting a different outcome. It's because they don't want to deal with their childhood wounds. And so the more that they ignore what really needs to be looked at, the worse it's going to get. They have no more luck. There's no luck.
Second.
Spirit said Satan. Spirit just said Satan. Achilles, Asuchilus, Acetulus. I don't know how to say that, but I'm looking in the Literature of the Western World, Volume 1, The Ancient World Through the Renaissance. Tragedy seems hardly the right term for this super drama, either for the whole, for its separate plays. In Acetulus, early plays such as Surviving Persians and Seven Against Thebes, he placed human affairs in the foreground with the gods relegated to the background. Yeah, something they were doing with gods. They could have been doing spell work. And that's the tragedy, that they did this in the background thinking it would get them something. But they were burned by fire, like Prometheus. They thought that they could move the cosmos itself on stage and come up with this division between you and the universe, but you can't separate you and the universe. There's something that's divine about you. This is, to you, it's a divine comedy, and to them, it's a tragedy. It's a sinister tragedy because you turn darkness into light. This process is presented in terms of sexual conflict. Conflict which penetrates all levels of existence, psychological through domestic and political to the cosmic. They're trapped. They could be, oh my gosh, that's what I was getting about astral projection, lonely. They could have trapped themselves. They could be outside of their body right now because of all the drugs and spell work. They trapped themselves in a net that they can't get through. Now they're irrational female furies in a nightmare of sexual conflict and confusion. They try to maneuver like a man, but at the heart of the vision, they don't understand. They're outraged. The confusion of personal sexual identity, I told you, is echoed on the domestic level. And the marital hatred, I told you, there's a mother and a father here. The father has identity issues, sexual identity issues, and the mother is so jealous of you because you have a devoted family person that's not gay, and this mother is with a gay man or something. And so their outrage of you living your authentic life, these two people don't know how to be authentic. And so they've been mad with outrage, trying to kill their own daughter. Wow. Trying to kill their own daughter, the darling of all the golden girls, who spreads love and light. They had a blood vengeance against you. They hated your self-confidence. They thought that you should be exalted from your self-confidence. So they were bloodletting. They were doing some kind of blood rituals. You became a pivotal figure in a revolution of values. And they go by the law of blood vengeance. They're in sexual conflict and confusion, and they're translating that into agonized ambivalence because you chose love over a mother and a father, a dishonorable mother and father. And by the end of this play, their sexual conflicts on the familial and political levels are going to be on a cosmic level because they embodied the furies of male Olympian Apollo in vengeance. Because they acted in vengeance and conflict, because they didn't want to deal with their own insecurities, they project sinister intentions. They tried to kill you. It says right here, agonized ambivalence of a daughter, forced to choose between love for a mother and honor for a father. You had to choose your own family over them because they tried to kill you or something. Because they need a hug, they come at me sideways. Wow. That's wild. Now they're going to be dealing with their vengeance cosmically. They're in a nightmare. They can't tell what's real and what's not. They compare themselves to you and don't understand their bisexual orientation. Because they were trying to instrument a resolution for their sexual conflicts and their political reconciliation of the gods. They watch over you and see that you're in a divine comedy and that it's not tragic for you. You're resourceful and skilled with an inconceivable art, and they follow a course of evil to an evil end. You hold the canons of justice high in your heart, and you swore to God that you would defend God's land, proud and stand. They, with ugliness, rashness, and evil, they dishonor God. God shuns their thoughts and protects you. They claim that you weren't who you said you were and that they were going to catch you in a folly, that you were something else. They were convinced that you're something else. And so they became obsessed with saying that you did this and you did that. And we're going to catch her doing this. And we're going to bury her. Their inability to look at their own shortcomings about their identities and looking at you confident and happy and in a divine comedy while they were suffering, that broke the camel's back, and they vowed to be a liar, to make storms for you, because your joy threatens them, your hope threatens them, but your happiness reigns. You can't break your vow of happiness.
Encourage.
Encourage. They did some kind of burial rite with an intention of vengeance, with sinister intentions. They did something with a false god, trying to bury you, trying to make you a dead man. They could have possibly tried to unalive your significant other as well, or metaphorically. But they've been caught in the act. They're trying to catch you in the act and then see how it all played out. But now they're the ones that are caught, and they're becoming rotting corpses because they're outside of their bodies. And they're like, let us know when you wake up, because they've been in some weird energy of vengeance, trying to make people look at you in a certain way. And now they've been stripped of all the breath of heaven, because they bore affliction that the gods had sent us, because they were trying to play God in your life, afflicting you with pain. They wanted to see you cry. Wow. And now they've cursed themselves. They've cursed themselves for eternity. Because they're not sorry. They're still not sorry. Even though they're at like the bottom low of the low, they're still not sorry. They're still looking for ways to find a way to accuse you and get you caught up. They cannot, because on a higher perspective, if they admit that they're wrong, then they are going to be forced to have to look at their own wounds that they have tried so hard to not look at. And you are a mirror to them. You reflect what their insecurities are, and there's something about you that they can't accept, that you're actually confident, that you're actually kind. Maybe at one time you weren't. Maybe at one time you were, you were a party animal, and you did things that were not, the best. Everybody goes through that. But something changed, and they hate that about you, because they never changed. They wanted you to stay like them. They wanted you to follow in their footsteps. They wanted you to need their approval. But you don't ask for their approval. You ask for God's approval. And that's what gives you perfect liberty. That's what keeps you that's what keeps you protected, is that you don't seek validation outside of yourself. But they're hateful. They're an evil doer. They're detestable. They betray themselves. And now that you've caught them, will you do more than kill me? Yeah. Even though they've been caught, they're still not satisfied. They still want to delay you, because they don't know how to pray. They don't know how to be honorable. They possibly buried their brother, or I have a brother and a sister here. They disagree with you. They can't control their tongues. They have shame, but they're acting like they have nothing to be ashamed about. That's where it said Christopher. Two brothers, the two sons of the same parent. And I have two brothers here. Two brothers of the same parent who control their tongues. says, "You viper, lying hidden in my house, sucking my blood in secret, while I reared unknowingly two subverters of my throne. Do you confess that you have taken part in this man's burial?" Yeah, because they tried to unalive you. And they told everyone that it was you, but it was really them taunting you, making people see that you're not, trying to make people see that you're insufficient and not valuable. But now they want safety because in their grudges, they protested to others that you tried to ruin them, but really they tried to unalive you. That's wild. Wow. That is wild. Just so they didn't have to look at their own shit. It was easier to try to, and unalive doesn't have to mean literal. It could be metaphorically. She flipped out when I threatened her with to call the cops. Yeah, because she's guilty. Because they're guilty. So how can we heal it? How can we heal it? What's the advice from Spirit? How can we heal it? Sometimes acceptance. Yeah, I was just going to say self-love. The things that happen to you in a child are not your fault. And the longer you hold shame and guilt for them, the more you're going to project that onto other people. And so there's something here about needing to accept what happened to them as a child, something that they need to accept and let go of because it's projecting onto you and your family life. And they're out of luck because you didn't do anything wrong to deserve this. See yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. Yeah, if they want to overcome this eternity of bad luck, then they need to accept things that are hard to accept. Things that happened when you were a child that you couldn't control. Possibly, maybe something that happened to them by a grandfather. And once you accept it, you need to accept that you're loved. Have self-love for yourself. We always want to hide the things that happen to us as children as if we could control the things that adults do to us. It's nobody's fault that someone they trusted, hurt them. And it's time, and whatever they're doing, they're just projecting onto you, and they hate that you don't have anything to overcome, or whatever happened, whatever childhood wound happened to you, you healed, and they don't understand how to do that. And so they have grown and festered some kind of vengeance for you that could possibly lead to a death if they don't stop doing something. Because Spirit just said, I died suddenly. There's something that they keep doing that they can't stop doing against you, and it's going to lead to an end for them. I saw heart chakra. Divine feminine. Yeah. Because they keep doing something to someone who's a divine feminine or masculine. And that just means that you're protected by energy. It's all energetic, you guys. If you're not matching vengeance and, hatred, then anything that comes towards you with that intention is not going to match your energy. If you're walking in divine energy, it's not going to match. So, magic. I can't make it up. Yeah, they could have been doing spell work, shaman. They could have sought out some kind of spell work against you and against your children. Or if you don't have children, it could have been you when you were a child. Detachment.
Workshop.
Spirit said workshop. Yeah, you had to detach from these people for your own sanctity, for your own sanity. You had to follow your intuition because these people didn't have your highest good. And you trust the wisdom within. And that's how you've been able to get out of these things that they send towards you. Because you know that you're supported on your path because you have a relationship with with the divine. You're a delight. You know, people love being around you. You have an inner knowing. Allowing, yeah, you allow what's meant for you to come and what's not meant for you to fall away. And that's why nothing they do affects you. And they don't understand that because they don't understand energy. Ugh. I love you guys. That was a heavy one. That's why the energy felt so yucky. But it could be an Aquarius. I'll do some signs. I saw a sister, a brother, a father, a mother, a friend. So it could be multiple people that somebody snake charmed to come against you, to believe things about you that weren't true. Spirit, please tell me what signs these are. I have a Sagittarius, a Gemini, two Geminis, a Capricorn, a Libra, no. I said Aquarius already, right? Venus, a Taurus again,
Secret hid away.
a Taurus again, that's 3 Tauruses, a Cancer, another Cancer, and a Sagittarius. All right, guys, I'm so happy you were here. Thank you so much. Chassie Smith, my father and mother, her grandmother, father, one brother, one sister, Judy. Oh, we said Judy. Actually, we said Judy. Oh, no, we didn't. We said Jane. I'm sorry. Something about Jane. Oh, all right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helped somebody get a higher perspective. There's nothing you need to worry about. These people could be becoming sick. Sick in the mind and sick in the body because of they can't stop doing this. But you're fine. You know, you just stay in that abundant mind state. You keep finding joy, and whatever they send to you, you're protected. So you don't have to worry about it. But it's just sad, you know. It makes me sad that, you know, shame and guilt from things that happen when you're a child. It breaks my heart that it can carry over in such a dark way into your adulthood where you unconsciously hurt people because of it, because you're so guilty and ashamed. You can't accept that happened to you, you know. And I'm sorry, and I hope that they heal. I really do. I hope they heal. Yes, God bless you all. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next weekend. We took a break from celebrity and true crime read. Spirit wanted us to get a message out for someone, so we listened to that. We trusted our intuition. And we just, someone needed a message, so we did that. But we do post every weekend. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification so you know when we post. We do random reads within the week, so make sure you follow our socials. You can find them through the link tree. We love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for all the love and support. It's been a really, really awesome adventure with you guys, and I'm so happy to be here with you. All right, we'll see you next weekend. Bye.